feminism is well, first it's a way of life. It's a way of thinking about the world and about one's place in the world. And for me, it has everything to do with understanding that people of all genders are inherently equal and deserve the same opportunities in life. And so feminism is really about reducing the barriers and obstacles to people's ability to totally and fully self-realize and self-actualize their potential. And I think gender is often, for a lot of people, it's a barrier to doing that for them, or the way that the society has set up gender roles is a barrier. And so as a feminist, I try to do what I can to help break those barriers down so that more people, both men, women, and people of other genders, can make all their different life goals and dreams come true.
I think feminism is women, girls, all ages, standing up for themselves, because back in the day they didn't have a lot of rights, so now it's very important that women stand up for themselves because men are so dominant. I guess you could say it's like girl power. I think women sticking together shows that we are all as strong as men are.
What feminism means to me is the intersectionality between all the different races and the knowledge that there is not only one woman's experience. And that's what has to be realized in feminism, that there are Black women, Hispanic women, Latina women who have all these different experiences, and they all need to be heard. And that's what third wave feminism needs to be about, the unity and the intersectionality between all these different factors of the human being.
Okay. Feminism is the radical notion that women and men are equal. And for me, feminism is also a human rights issue. It's the idea that women's and girls' rights are human rights. And there are so many different kinds of feminists, as you probably know. I was privileged to grow up during the second wave of feminism, so I got to be right in on some of the initial questions that feminists at that time were asking. And there were all kinds of challenges to that second wave of feminism because it was kind of a white middle class movement. And so the initial movement, second wave movement, got challenged with ideas about identity, that not everyone was a white middle class heterosexual feminist, but in fact some feminists identified as lesbian. And then women of color challenged the movement. And some women of color said we shouldn't use the word feminist, we should use a word like womanist, because feminist had the white middle class connotation with it. And so there were different ideas in terms, particularly around the second wave, of what feminist meant. I remember the first feminist course that I taught at University of New Mexico, I co-taught it. And the other professor was a radical separatist feminist, and she was determined to give the women's, it was a course on women's sexuality, and she was determined to get all the guys out of the class. And I was like, no, feminism, because my idea was that feminism should be an inclusive movement, which I still believe very much. I think men have always been a part of the feminist movement. And I think we've seen feminism change, which is really exciting. We've seen feminism come of age, and we see different generations embracing feminism.
Feminism has many faces, but we can all agree that it's up to us. We are the voices. We must speak up and make moves to become equal and receive the rights that we deserve.